Do you ever find yourself in the position where you just can't seem to get your point across? Maybe you're fighting with your partner and you can't seem to understand each other's perspectives. Or you're having your mid-year review with your boss and you don't really know how to ask for a raise. If this sounds familiar, the book Supercommunicators by Charles Duhigg comes to the rescue. In this book, Duhigg explores the power of effective communication and how it can be used to influence and persuade others. Communication is the backbone of personal and professional relationships. Whether you're navigating a complex project at work or having a heart-to-heart with a friend, your ability to convey ideas and emotions effectively can make all the difference. In this video, we'll take you through a summary of the book, highlighting the key takeaways that will help you unlock the secrets of effective communication to become a true super communicator. So without further ado, let's get into it. 1. The power of storytelling. One of the most powerful communication tools is the skill of storytelling. Stories have the unique ability to capture attention, evoke emotions, and make information memorable. People are much more likely to listen to a captivating story than a dry presentation of facts and figures. As humans, our brain is wired to respond to narratives and use them as a way to understand the world around us. So make sure to incorporate elements of storytelling into your communication. Through sharing personal anecdotes, using metaphors or analogies, or even weaving in fictional elements to make a point. Take, for example, the famous "I Have a Dream" speech by Martin Luther King Jr. If you have seen it, you know that this speech was not just someone stating some facts and statistics. It was a powerful story that evoked emotion and inspired millions to take action. So, by mastering this skill, you will be able to capture your audience's attention and leave a lasting impact. 2. Listen more than you speak. When we think of communication skills, we often think of what we should say to get our message across effectively. However, an often overlooked but crucial aspect of communication is listening. If you're able to listen well to others, you can build rapport and understanding. Rapport means that there is a close and harmonious relationship in which people understand each other's feelings or ideas and communicate well with each other. It might sound easy to just listen a bit more, but a lot of people are mainly focused on talking. When the other person is speaking, they are merely waiting for their own turn to talk again, instead of taking the time to carefully hear what the other person is saying. You can improve your listening skills by implementing the following techniques. Maintain eye contact, ask open-ended questions, and give feedback. By becoming a better listener, you can strengthen your relationships and communicate more effectively. 3. Empathy is key. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, and it's a key component of effective communication. Being empathetic allows you to connect with others on a deeper level. For some people, this comes naturally, but maybe it takes a bit more practice for you, which is totally fine. Here are some helpful strategies for cultivating empathy. Practice mindfulness. Try to be aware of your own emotions and those of others. Put yourself in their shoes. Imagine how you would feel if you were in their situation. Truly picture yourself in their position in your mind and see what feelings arise. And lastly, use empathetic language. Show that you understand and care by using statements like, "I can imagine how difficult that must be for you." By demonstrating empathy, you will create a supportive environment that fosters open communication. 4. The art of persuasion. Persuasion is an essential skill for influencing others and achieving your goals. But humans are complex creatures, so persuading them seems like an even more complex task. Well, luckily, there are a few principles that will help you master the art of persuasion. 1. Reciprocity. When someone does something for us, you feel obligated to return the favor. So, if you may need a favor from someone, consider doing something for them first to build some goodwill. 2. Consistency. Once people commit to something, they want to remain consistent with these commitments and beliefs. Therefore, it can be wise to ask someone for a small favor first, so they are more likely to say yes when you ask for a bigger commitment later on. 3. Social proof. As we humans are social creatures, we often look to others for guidance on what we should do or believe. So, if you might want to persuade your partner to go to a new restaurant with you, mention how popular it is or show them some positive reviews. 4. Liking. We are more likely to comply with requests from people we like or admire. If you dislike your boss, you probably won't be happy performing any task coming from them. While if your favorite coworker asks you for some help, you're probably happy to do it. 5. Authority. People are more likely to be convinced by someone who is seen as an expert or an authority figure. So if you can establish your credibility by demonstrating your expertise and knowledge, people will be more likely to believe what you have to say. 6. Scarcity. When we feel like something is of rarity or limited availability, we tend to feel a sense of urgency. If you're online shopping and you see that there are only 2 dresses left of that dress you are looking at, you probably feel more inclined to buy it. That's why it's important to emphasize how the opportunity is unique, time sensitive, or in limited supply. By understanding these principles, you can become a more persuasive communicator and achieve your desired outcomes. However, it's important to use persuasion ethically and responsibly. Manipulating or deceiving others is never a sustainable way to get what you want. 5. Your nonverbal cues speak for you. Nonverbal communication, including body language, facial expressions, and gestures, plays a significant role in how we communicate. Nonverbal cues can back up or contradict what you're saying, influencing how your message is received. By matching your nonverbal signals with your words, you can boost your overall communication effectiveness. So, firstly, be aware of your posture when you're speaking. Are you standing straight and conveying confidence? Or are you hunched and looking unsure of yourself? Also, make sure you're maintaining appropriate eye contact. By not looking the other person in the eye when we're speaking, they can think we're insincere or even lying to them. Lastly, a helpful trick is to mirror the other person's body language. A study found that people are more likely to comply with a request if the other person is showing similar body language as them. This is because it creates a sense of connection and rapport between the two parties. 6. The dynamics of group communication. Group communication comes with its own set of challenges and opportunities. When talking in a group, you may find it even harder to get your point across. Or you're the opposite, and you might have the tendency to overtake the conversation. Every individual brings their own unique experiences, beliefs, and communication styles to a group, which can sometimes lead to misunderstandings or conflicts. That's why it's important to be aware of the group dynamics and how they can affect the conversation. Make sure to display active listening. Give everyone a chance to speak and be open to different viewpoints. 7. Be aware of cultural differences. Cultural differences can impact communication in profound ways. One of the most interesting examples of how cultural differences affect communication is the idea of high context and low context communication. In high context cultures like Japan and many Arab countries, people rely a lot on implicit messages, nonverbal cues, and shared understanding. Information is often conveyed subtly, with a lot left unsaid because it's assumed the listener will read between the lines. On the other hand, low context cultures like Germany and the United States prefer explicit, direct, and clear communication where everything is spelled out plainly. Misunderstandings can easily arise when people from different cultural backgrounds interact. So, it's important to be aware of these differences to communicate effectively and respectfully. You can do this by practicing some of the previous lessons, like actively listening, being mindful of nonverbal cues, and asking questions to make sure you understand correctly. 8. The impact of technology. Technology has changed the way we communicate, bringing both opportunities and challenges. Digital tools such as email, social media, and video calls have hugely impacted our interactions. They make it a lot easier to connect with people and quickly access information. But if not used right, technology can also make communication tricky. Without face to face contact and virtual interactions, it's hard to pick up on nonverbal cues and tone, which can lead to misunderstandings. That's why it's important to pay extra attention to how we communicate through technology and adapt our communication style accordingly. For example, if you're being distracted by your cat that's meowing in the background, or your kid who's calling for attention, make sure to mention these distractions to your conversation partner. This way, they won't mistake your distraction for disinterest. It's also important to not solely rely on online communication, but rather using it as a supplement to face interactions instead of a replacement. 9. How to give and receive feedback. Feedback is essential for growth and improvement, but giving and receiving feedback can be challenging. So, to give you a helping hand, here are some strategies for delivering constructive feedback and receiving it with an open mind. Firstly, be specific. Instead of making general statements, provide specific examples to support your feedback. This makes it easier for the other person to understand and make necessary changes. Secondly, use I statements. When delivering feedback, use I statements instead of you statements. For example, say, I feel like we could improve our collaboration by having regular check-ins, instead of, you are not communicating enough during our projects. This way, it's less likely for the other person to feel personally attacked and put up a defense. Instead, they will be more likely to work on this feedback. And finally, focus on behavior, not the person. Avoid attacking someone's personality or character when giving feedback. Instead, focus on their behavior and how it may affect the situation at hand. Whether it's in personal or work environments, creating a feedback-rich environment where people feel safe to share their thoughts and experiences is highly important for continuous learning and development. Well, there you have it, guys, a comprehensive summary of this treasure of a book. Supercommunicators by Charles Duhigg dives deep into the art and science of communication. It reminds us that effective communication isn't just about what you say, it's about how you listen, empathize, and connect with others. By applying the strategies from this video, you will be sure to become a true supercommunicator. If you like this video, don't forget to share it with someone you think can benefit from it. And make sure to subscribe to this channel so you won't miss out on any book summaries.